Hello and welcome to the news once again. Another week of the news where we cover what's going on in the Yu-Gi-Oh world and what's going on in the tournament world. And today's coffee, we have Tim Hortons.
Normally I go with something like what's good, people. We're going to talk about the news and we've got the coffee. It's coffee and cardboard. We're going to talk about cardboard and we've got the coffee. I have sorted my face out and my hair is now styleable, but I haven't, so I'm wearing a hat.
My face has got worse.
Tim Hortons, by the way.
Tim Hortons, it is delicious.
Yeah, you will.
We obviously have donuts and Timbits.
So here's the...
Hey Billy, what was your favorite episode? I really like the one
Aidan
talked about
Donuts
for a long time.
We have got the 25th exclusive merchandise for the OCG. Now I say we have got probably nothing.
Yeah.
But
look, they've got swag for the big 25th anniversary tournament in Tokyo next year. Wonderful, they get nice things.
And they have got more nice things with the EX reprint editions. Product released in 1999 in addition to 2 pre-built decks based on Yugi and Kaiba. It includes the dual field and rule book from 1999. That's sick.
It was very good.
That is so cool. That's bloody brilliant. They've got Magician's Bond. Why? Konami, we'll buy it. Just give it us. Like your best seller of the year was reprints of LOB up until this point, which is probably going to change with AGOV. We'll get onto that. But come on, we want the things. Magicians of Bonds and Unity dual set, so 7,000 yen, 2 dual fields, 2 sets of card protectors, which OCG card protectors end up going for a lot, don't they?
Yeah.
But is that just because they don't give them us here?
No.
Masters of the Spiritual Arts is getting an exclusive version where all the cards are foil.
Very nice. For them, again.
Limited to 3 per person. At least they got that bang on. And an event version of the Trap Trick structure deck where all the cards are foil. So...
Very nice.
Yeah. Age of Overlord reveals are fully announced now. So, I think we knew about the vast majority of this in previous news. The latest news is the Tistina editions. We knew they were coming, we just didn't know what they were.
Yeah. And the new what sports in there as well.
Yeah, and we can all pre-prep for getting very depressed about the price of Little Knight.
We will be getting more into this, though.
Everybody needs them. Phantom Nightmare has had its full announcement now. Feel free to give it a quick read-through.
All the new year about
Moz notably did have a little freak out when he was asking when it was for, and forgot that Americanized dates exist. So we are speculating February. Wait. Launch date 2nd of the 9th. So we're speculating that's an Americanized date, and it will be the 9th of February. We hope. Moz, can you do a quick Sonic check on that? Just do it a quick Google in line.
Yeah, February 9th, 2024. The Japanese got it this month.
Yeah, so...
we'll get it this month, sorry.
Yeah, so our British ways let us down there. But yeah, have a gander of that. It's the next core set. It's still the 25th celebration sets, so it'll be QCs. Speaking of, here's a reveal from one, and I have done a lot of talking, so feel free to do a little bit of reading.
Right, it's Black Mutation. So you can activate 1 card with this card's name once per turn, tribute 1 fusion or synchro monster, special 1 monster with the same original level from your deck, but return it to the hand during the end phase. So, it's kind of cool. I don't know what application this is going to have, but it seems to be a bit of a neg one.
Kind of.
Yeah. So it might have some cool applications and combos, but...
Yeah, so it's like if you have a... Jesus, I can't even think of anything, because usually most of your combo cards, like, I guess you could, in theory, go into, like, an Amazing Dragon, and then e-telly out a, what's it called? Foxy Tune, and then do Foxy Tune things. Problem being, is to get something to line up like that, you've probably already done Foxy Tune to get to the Amazing Dragon, so...
Yeah, you probably can just link it off and do something cool with it. If you target at a level 7, you can summon Fenrir and search Fenrir or Rise Heart and do some wacky shit for that, but...
so it's probably a bit big brain. The Snake Eyes, we have them. We have all the names, they are ready to be released this month. Pre-sales have started. Pretty depressed about it, but we'll get to that. On that note, Tistina, we have the other half of the core now. So with TCG exclusives, they often get released in 2 waves. You get 7 cards in each, I think. So they normally spread 2 sets. Same thing happened with like Gold Pride and everything before. I don't think with Spiral. I think they still sucked, and then Double Helix got given to them as legacy support, and then they popped off. But regardless,
I don't think that's what we're seeing here.
Would you like to?
Alright, so you have Fallen of the Tistina, level 1 water aqua effect, attack 200, defense 0. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, place Divine Domain, Bastistina from your deck face up in your field zone. If a face-up Tistina spell trap you can control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect while this card is in your graveyard, banish this card, special summon a light Tistina monster from your hand, deck, or grave. So it is basically another terraforming for the best card.
Which, honestly, they needed better little guys, and it looks like they've been given them. Because, like, the big guys were okay. They were alright. They were serviceable cards. Next one, if you please.
Return to the Tistina. Level 2 Fire Aqua Effect monster. Attack 500, defense 500. If this card is in your hand, you can target one Tistina monster you control, except returned. Special summon this card, and if you do, its level becomes the targeted monster's level. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target an Aqua XC monster you control. Attach this card as material. You can only use this effect once per turn. So, all in all, it revolves around the new XZ. I don't know how applicable it's going to be for the strategy, but it is on air, so I'm not sure if this is going to be played any more than one.
Yes. Did you get absolutely done over by a donut at the start?
Yeah.
I thought you did. My timing wasn't great there. Yeah, it's just, again, their level 1s were holding them, not level 1s, smaller monsters were holding them back a lot. They've got a level 5.
Painted of the Tistina.
I just saw it and I was like, that's got to be a 4. 4 would make sense. And I went, wait, that's not a 4. Level 5. So, you contribute summon this card face up by attributing 1 face down monster your opponent controls. Nice, that's nice and board breaky for a deck that does that anyway. And your non-engine will probably be doing that. This card's level becomes 10 if it was normal summoned or set. That's pretty nice. Especially when there's a level 10 XEs below it. If this card is sent to the graveyard, except from the field, so from under an XCs then, you can target 1 Tistina monster you control. This turn, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. Also, you can only attack with 1 monster, so it better be a big one.
Oh, I hope.
And we have the big rank 10.
Alright.
Which is generic.
Divinity that defies darkness. The level 10 light aqua XYZ effect monster.
The alliteration.
I know, right? Attack 2k, pretty standard. Defense 3k. Yeah, there's generic 2 level 10s. This card is special. You can send all face down cards your opponent controls to the graveyard. I'm thinking dinosaur. You can only use the effective Tistina, the divinity that defies darkness, once per turn. Once per turn, if this card has Crystal God Tistina as material, detach 1 material from this card against 2k until the end of your opponent's turn. If this card you control is destroyed by your opponent's card effect while it has material, special Tistina monster in your grave.
Right, hear me out. UCT is a 10. This requires a 10. So what you can do, you can book their entire field. That's like 5k of damage on board. You can say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to overlay it into this with another 10, which isn't too easy to access. Then you blow it all up, dome yourself for not.
I'd sooner
5K,
kill him with UCT and then
OTK.
finish him off with Gustav.
That's kind of my job.
I've deliberately left my opponent wide open with a few life points left, got the hopes up for me passing turn, and then killed that hope again by making Gustav.
Because he is a very bad man. But yeah, no, that. I mean, yeah, could have some synergies somewhere. Don't know where. Might be a bit janky, but janky's fun. Play of the Tistina. It is a quick play spell card. Special summon one Tistina monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position, but it's returned to the hand during the end phase. It's pretty sick if I remember the other ones. So you can just like quick effects, Book of Moon.
Yeah.
Well, Book of Eclipse.
No, it might have some synergy.
Yeah.
Not sure. It might be a one-off.
Then we've got 2 traps. Would you like to take them, Moz?
Right, continuous shout. And your opponent activates a monster effect on the field. Target that monster. Change it face down defense position. During the end phase, you can target one face down monster your opponent controls. Take control of that monster. You can only use the each effective Embrace of Tistina once per turn. You can only activate them while you control the Tistina monster with 3k or more defense. Okay, so it's limited to what you control. It requires you to be in turn 3, which Tistina already don't want to do. And it does have some nice effects. I can't lie. But then again, it requires you to have something face up for it.
Which isn't a good place to be in.
Never is for a trap. And then we have Discordance of the Tistina. Normal trap. Activate one of these effects. If you control the Tistina, banish one card from your opponent's graveyard face down. If you control the Tistina monster, special summon from the extra deck. Special summon from the extra deck. Banish all cards your opponent's graveyard face down. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a Tistina monster in your grave, add it to your hand, and you can only use one effect per turn. So yeah, it's nice recursion and interacts with the grave. All right.
Right, we have the commons for the set. Rivalry of Warlords at the Racetrack. Okay, so we've got Ken. It's a fairly standard name. The Warrior Dragon. He is a level 3 light warrior effect monster with attack 1300, defense 1550. Once per turn, at the end of the battle phase, return this card from the field to the hand.
Oh no.
This was bad in Go.
Oh no.
You can only use each of the following effects of Ken the Warrior Dragon once per turn. During your main phase, you can special summon one Gen the Diamond Tiger from your hand or deck to your opponent's field in defense position. If this card is special summoned by the effect of Gen the Diamond Tiger, your opponent draws 2 cards, then they discard 1 card.
Right, so this is fun, right? So what you do is you go, use this guy, summon Tiger to their field, draw 2, discard 1, go battle phase, end the battle phase, return it to the hand, evenly matched.
But they get to draw.
No, it says your opponent draws. So that's his effect on field after it's been given. So
right,
you draw 2,
right.
discard 1, you then go battle phase, and then you go end of battle phase, it returns to my hand, activate evenly matched. So you can normal summon it, give your opponent that, draw 2,
like
discard,
the
and
Santa
return.
Claus
Yeah.
clause. Right, let's see what Gen does. Gen the Diamond Tiger, level 3 light warrior, effect monster, attack 800, defense 2k. So you can't actually get over the Gen that you've given them with it.
No, because it outs itself.
Yeah. Once per turn at the end of the battle phase, return this card from the field to the hand. You can only use each effect of Gen the Diamond Tiger once per turn. During your main phase, you can special summon one Ken Warrior Dragon from your hand or deck to your opponent's field in defense position. If this card is special summoned by the effect,
So if
this card.
that's mad. Right, so now, right, this is an engine. You normal summon Ken, you give them Tiger, you draw 2, discard 1. Your opponent is forced to discard
No, you've
1.
got to give them Ken to.
No. Ken gives them the Tiger,
Yeah, which forces
then
them to
allows
discard
Ken
one.
for you to draw 2 and discard 1. And then his effect on field for the opponent
Right,
is
so
discard a card.
yeah, but you would have to... For you to draw 2 and discard 1, you've got to give them Ken, so you've got to start with Gen. The other way round is you just hand loop them for 1.
Yeah, he hand loops for 1. Right, we just need to see what Mantis does.
I think it's unrelated.
Opponent controls a level 6 or lower monster. You can special summon this card from your hand. If you have more cards in your hand than your opponent, you can change the battle positions of all monsters in the field. All of the ring step monsters on the field become the same attribute and level as this card. Also, you cannot special summon a monster on the field. Hang on. Except insect monsters. If this card is destroyed, you can add 1 level 8 or higher monster from your deck to your hand. Yeah, it's pretty unrelated.
Yeah, that's really unrelated. But what is related to nothing at all is Asset Mantis, and he's a kinky boy. Look at him. He knows it. He's
You
playing
might as well go
coy.
up to the picture at the top.
Look at that guy. He's sassy, and I love it. I've never found common ground with a gross bug before, but whatever.
And then we have PHNI Philly, which is obviously there's another one.
Yes, the other Pit Knight is actually good though. I had a glance at this, and I might be wrong, but it did not tickle my pickle. If this card is special summoned to a zone a linked monster points to, you can target 1 monster you control with 1500 or less attack. This turn it can make a second attack during each battle phase. Also, if it... What attack has Garura got?
15.
And it can attack twice.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, Garura's got battle effect, but like, yeah, that's dumb and janky. It can make a second attack during each battle phase. Also, if it battles an opponent's monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. So you can, like, in theory,
UCT.
dome him for 6. Yeah, UCT has 1500
I know,
attack.
right?
It'd be objectively better now that this has been released. And it can attack as much as it wants anyway. Any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled during the standby phase of the next turn after this card was destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard. You can special summon this card. But it's not doing a lot, if you ask me.
No, it's not. And then we have this last common. This has all been pack filler, but fun pack filler at the most.
Yeah, one psychic fighting porter. Honestly, there's going to be some sadist picking up Watts.
We read the cards, and they read very fun.
They read absolutely like old
The
world
fact that they just
torture
have
for your opponent.
inbuilt floodgates in everything they do.
I'm going to summon this innocuous level 3 monster. Oh, what does that mean? Ah, well, it means you can't play. Great. Nah, I mean, I'm exaggerating, but...
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Stop
And if you
reaching
try and
for
do,
them.
if you try and do anything to it, they've got a counter trap.
Move it away from... Right.
Right.
So what does this card do, Moz?
Special summon up to 2 level 3 lower light monsters from your hand. If you special summon 2 monsters with the same original type, those monsters can attack directly this turn. If they have the same level, they can also not be destroyed by battle. It's bad.
Cool. Moving on.
The
We've
set
got
list.
the full set list with rarities. And you will notice a couple that are kind of sad. That's not good. Butler was surprisingly okay. Also, like, 2 of the Horus cards in secret slots. That's whatever. Rocket Salamander, randomly, like, TGs. Oh, also wanted. That was not fun. The ultra rares are the new Vanquish Soul, Dark Hole Dragon, if anyone wants the memes. Odd Eyes, Arcray Dragon. It's a couple more TG cards. Nicely in an ultra slot is Superstar Slayer Typhon Sky Crisis, which is music to my ears.
We will be seeing this.
We will be buying about 3 of these.
All right.
We only need one each, right?
Yeah.
Other
As I say, we'll be seeing all of these cars.
than that, Infernal Flame Banshee is interesting. I'm more talking about the rarity allocation here. King Sarcophagus, quite nice to see that in an ultra rare. It would have really sucked if that was a secret, because it's the key card. Supers, there was something worth mentioning in Super. There's a new Neptibus?
Nephilibus.
Nephilibus. No.
It's an Ogdoadic card.
Where is it? I'm sure it's Super. Oh, there's a new Berthamet as well, and that landed in Super. Exceed the Pendulum. Quite nice that is sub £1. So, we'll have a look at it, though. I believe you were interested in talking about this one.
Well, it was a new card and we didn't have its effects, so now it has been released. Once again, the Japanese will get very good V-Jump cards. It has a bit of application, so it's Pendulum Witch, level 3 Spellcaster Pendulum, obviously. Attack 1500, defense 800, Pendulum Scale 8. Its spell effect. You can only use the Pendulum effect to this card's name once per turn. If face-up, Fusion, Synchro, or XZ monster you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect while this card is in the Pendulum Zone, add one Pendulum monster with the same original type as one of those monsters from your deck to your extra deck. That's pretty okay, if that. Monster effect. You can only use the first monster's effect of this card's name once per turn. This card is normal summoned or pendulum summoned. You can target one card in your pendulum zone, destroy both it and this card, and if you do, add one level 4 or lower pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. If this card is in your monster zone and is destroyed, you can place it in your pendulum zone. So,
it does pendulum things, like some of them like being blown up.
That's
what I take from
one
it.
or two of.
Yeah. Capture the enemy stronghold with Goblin Paratrooper Squad.
It's part of the that series.
This is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
So it's a level 4 warrior effect, wind warrior effect monster, 0 attack, 2000 defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each per turn, once each per turn. If this card is special summoned from the hand in attack position, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, change the card to defense position, also negate that target's effects while this card is in face-up defense position. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field while this card is in the graveyard, you can discard one card, add this card to your hand. That sounds like filler.
Yeah. It's pack filler.
But at least Goblin Attack Force got a little bit modern. They have parachutes instead of spears.
Love it.
Cool. Right. Time for me to lose my goddamn mind. So, just have a look through the singles. There's some bits and pieces that are quite interesting. Lilla Rap seems to have, just under the radar, completely power creeped Monster Reborn. Like, there is now no point in playing Monster Reborn anymore whatsoever. It's kind of Monster Reborn on a continuous with an in-time contingency. I mean, it'd probably be bad to play it for in-time contingencies, but it's just like, why would you play the thing that does less than this when this does more, but also exactly the same, because it's generic. From what I saw, we've got all the Tistina cards, we've discussed them. The core is very affordable. I was quite publicly called out that I don't know shit about Tistina. The person who called me out was absolutely right, but I'm damn sure going to come back and make a better deck profile with it now. Probably pure.
I thought that was Nemlaria, not Tistina.
It was Nemlaria Tistina.
He was calling you out on the Nemlaria.
He should have been calling me out on the lot, to be honest. I don't know what to tell you. When you've got a content, what do you call it? You've got to be making content.
You're just so harsh on yourself.
On a schedule. I didn't know shit about them. I was reading half of them.
Alright.
Basically, like, a deck profile dropped out, and I just had to jump in and make one and pull it out of my ass within 5 minutes, so people got what they were given that week, but yeah, it happens. I think the video did pretty well as well anyway, so people must have liked it and taken it with a pinch of salt. We've got the new Noble Arms thing, I think. This is a Noble Arms card. It does things. I have read it. I can't remember it. We've got a lot of coming soons, probably the less notable ones.
Yeah, I think we're in filler at the minute. Look at the prices.
That being said, though, the what are they called?
Shinobird.
Shinobird. The new Shinobird support is coming, and that has made Josh very excited. The Supreme King stuff, super affordable, very nice, very good. Exceed the Pendulum, as I said, 75p, which is, you know, good to see. I'm a poet and I didn't even realise. New Berthomet Super, it's £1, so, you know, Chimera, go ham. The XYZ armors, I don't know enough about them to comment. We've got, like, little bits of the Nouvelle support, crossover stuff.
At least the main search is £8 for Horus.
Well, we're getting there. So that is an important card. That's the draw card. We're starting to get hit here with like £8 for King's Sarcophagus, which is the key card, which I am absolutely fine with. I'm glad they didn't make that a secret. We've got the original Sinful Spoils hitting in at £7, which on its own would be absolutely fine. The Divine Temple of the Snake Eye, 250, whatever. Infernal Flame Banshee, a little bit interesting. It wrote us for Pyros, it either foolishes or adds to hand. Kind of nice. And
it's a retrain.
big one here, Star Slayer, is currently sitting at £12 on pre-sale. £12? £20. £19.99 on pre-sale. That's a relief. There were two things that could have gone very nasty, and one of them was if this was a secret and short printed, which we don't know about short printings yet, but that's going to be one that a lot of people are going to want. Moving on, TG seems to be getting something. We're getting more of the Mana Diem stuff. This
Irrelevant.
It's not. You can turn skip your opponent with this sets.
Ah.
But, yeah. The new Vanquished Soul is an ultra. They kept it on theme with the rest of them all being ultras. But this one's a £5, so that's okay, isn't it?
You play it?
I don't know yet. I've kind of given up on the deck based on it being stupidly expensive and not being...
Dark Old Dragon, £3.
Are you going to fill a binder?
No. Not with 3. That would be 360 times 3. So it'd be £1,000 on Dark Old Dragons. Are you insane?
Do you know what? Cave them off the market, people will be like, there's some up with this card, you know.
What, searching Dark Hole?
Yeah, Dark got busted. Right, now we get to me being sad. So if anyone can cast the mind back on the news, I'm not going to ask anyone to, like, pick it out, any of the editors, but I immediately saw Sinful Spoils and Diabell Star, and I was like, I want that. I would like to own that. Last time I did that, funnily enough, it was Versus. That dropped at being like £250 core. £50 and out of stock. I get it. It's probably going to make Rescue Ace the deck to beat. I wanted it for Fire Kings because I'm based. But no. Every time. Also, £70 on SP Little Knight. This is depressing. They made it a secret. They went and did it. So we're probably going to have another access code situation here because I cannot overstate how good that is.
And then Butler.
Speaking of being incredibly good, Butler, this looks undervalued from what we're seeing by the market at the moment.
I think it's going to be a lot better than what it's priced at.
Yeah. Bearing in mind as well, this is no commentary on Kong's pricing. They are just a solid metric for the market. They tend to be really competitive, in my opinion. So, like, I literally buy from Kongs myself because they're a good metric, so they're a good point for the news. Kongs, if you're watching this, for the shout out, just give me a Goth Mummy core. Just do it. I'm great. Thank you.
Bloody hellfire.
Yeah, so on top of the £50 Searcher, we have a £30 Dark Witch.
It was going to happen.
You don't have to rub it in. I don't need an Soldier Soul. I was hoping. I was like, SP Little Knight, which I'm right.
And where did Hope get anybody?
All right, you're right. I'll go ahead and just quit the game, because what's the point? Because why Hope?
I mean, why Hope is correct.
Shut your whore mouth and let me just have this.
All
it's
right.
the second time I'm fuming. I see something, it could just be Summit mid, and I'm just like, that's very cool. I could do some really cool stuff with that. I like that a lot.
Have you had,
Nope.
Have you had a ban list rip $500,000 off you yet?
No, because I exclusively play Rogue because I'm not a dipshit.
I was playing Rogue just with the meta
Meta
engine.
players aren't dipshit, by the way. I'm trying to get him to shut the fuck up. Yeah. So that's like, that's expensive.
Rocket Salamander, £10. Obviously, there's something going on with TG. So
It's just, it got allocated a secret slot and it will be nostalgia hype. I'm not finished ranting. Also, Imseti. Everyone else is going to be playing this with Tailormans. It's going to be a really strong meta deck. I want to put it in my goddamn Gren list. And this is still like, I'm going to have to sell a kidney for it. Like, come on. Do you know what? Funnily enough, if they'd have released it like after Christmas, I'd have been fine. I'd have just been like, I'll buy that. But yeah, right before Christmas, I can't justify it. And I've just dropped bank on the Megatins. So yeah, all the engines that I really thought were cool in this, both of them I've kind of ate shit on. So from now on in the news, I'm going to be deadpan and just be like, I don't like it, sucks. And then it will release and I'll buy it and I'll be like, fucking love this. Loved it from the start. It's just, I vocalized it, so Konami screwed me.
you get too excited, so there's no way you can suppress that. If you like something, you go on about it.
Yeah, true. But it's happening though. I will take my goddamn time and I will get this goddamn core and that goddamn core, because both of these goddamn cores are cool. The Little Knight is kind of a must. Unfortunately, we're back in the situation of like, Jesus, let's have a history lesson, Moz. Access Code Talker being the most recent, that spiked to like 110. Baron did it, where you've just got a key extra deck monster that does something nothing else does. If anyone advocates for Unicorn on this, you are specifically running an engine that needs the discard, or you are wrong. Like,
Well, no, that's not fair. If they had accessibility to this card,
yeah, sorry. Objectively, I'm not dumping on budget players. I have very much been there. I still am. I'm still like, there's certain things where
there's
I'm
nothing
like,
wrong with Unicorn. It's just this, if you can afford it, justify it, and play it, it runs a bit better.
yeah. Honestly, if you get into tiered events, I feel like it's going to be a card that you are either playing or it is shitting on you. You're not wrong on a money perspective or anything, but from like a pure deck build. Let's take money out of it for a second. If you're playing on an online sim, are you ever putting Unicorn in instead of this?
I mean, some people did also apply their budget rule to that as well.
I actually do that. But still, my point is, if you just had access to the card bank, what I'm trying to get at is this has power crept Unicorn out of this universe. It's good going first, it's good floating into it, it's
It's a good card.
I would argue it might be better than Access Code. Yeah, there was no way this wasn't going to go this way, but I was really coping on it. And also, I need to backtrack there because my mouth just ran off. I am not kind of like throwing shade at anyone on a budget. I remember when I first started looking at a Boral Sword and going, let's spend that. I only spend big money on guitars. Oh, I'm not doing it on cardboard. And then Moz has corrupted me, and now,
Yeah, it's an addiction.
yeah, now I'm hooked on that cardboard crack. But no, even like budget players may not even necessarily not be able to access it. They may just go, Grand Life perspective, it's a piece of cardboard and it's £70. I'll wait. Like, Tom is just in the camp of, I will wait until it gets an accessible reprint.
Still probably might get reprinted in extravagance issues where it's 50 quid.
Probably. That was another one, Extrav.
110 on release, and then
It was
its next
110
reprint
long
was
time.
£50 Ultra. It then got another reprint as a secret in the Megatint, and that's still sat at 25.
Yeah. When did I think I got my Extravs on that £25 one.
You got a good deal on Ultras after they were released in the tins.
Aren't my Prizzes?
Yeah, yours are Prizzes now.
I don't remember.
You got a good deal on Ultras.
Yeah. I will just barter so hard for things. Or yeah.
All
I'll
right.
just be very cheeky. But yeah, anyway, a bit of good news for every Control player out there. I'm fairly sure this isn't a Labyrinth exclusive card. You could play a little engine of 3 of this and 1 lady. It is lady, isn't it?
You can play the lady if you want to, just to get its rotation effect, but
You don't have to.
you don't have to.
That card's cracked. So it's probably really good for Control players across the board. The rest I don't know enough about, honestly. But yeah, they're the prices. I've had my rant. Now let's go into my rant part 2, Electric Boogaloo, because I like buying cores. Tistina, fine. And like I said, I'm damn sure we're picking this up. Shark Lancer, not for me. Don't know enough about it, but if it is for you, what can I say? It's a tenner. That's pretty good. Supreme King, we're low-key picking all the pen stuff up. Apart from bloody Bumbukus, because they spiked out of the tree. The TG one, a little steep, but not too bad. Visus, honestly, if you're pretty deep in the Visus tank, I feel like you're fine with this. Visus has always been...
One thing I will say is read the cards and figure out whether or not you're doing Manadium, Scareclaw, or Tear, or, you know, one of the many other million strategies that involve Visus. Actually take time to read the cards and work out whether or not you need them.
Yeah. Or maybe you just want to collect them and there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I feel like if you're in the hole with Manadium, you're pretty committed anyway, because it's never been a cheap core, has it?
It recently became cheaper because Galariums are sitting at 20 quid.
Yeah, but it's never been like...
It's never been really accessible. It's still about 180 quid.
Yeah, so, and now we get into the My Feelings Are Hurt. The Horus Complete deck core is 164. That's 99.
And realistically, you only play 5 of those cards.
Yeah. Yeah, you can kind of go either way with it, but you can look at, like, I guess, Pure and stuff like that. I don't know. These are both very splashable engines, so realistically, you're only playing about 5 of those.
Yeah.
But that's... What, you're looking at, like...
3 of the Surge, yeah?
You're looking at, like, 190 just on the ones that you regularly play.
Yeah.
And it's only that low because one of them is Dark Witch, and that drops like 60 quid out of it.
Yeah.
But that depends, like, how you're playing it. I would very much like to have a mess around with this deck again as like a full fleshed out engine rather than just Search Pyro Turbo.
Yeah.
This is literally like blown up because the Ninos, it just searches Hydrant straight off. Yeah, anyway, my feelings are hurt, but let's move on. Osaka had its area championship, and I think Tyr recently got absolutely gutted in the OCG, so let's see. Oh no, it won, so this must be the last hurrahs.
Yeah.
So we have got
hurrahs.
fairly bog standard Tyr there. They have been terrorized by this deck for so long. It's
And
nice
we're about
to see
to be. It is. It really is.
No, it's a top deck again, but it's not.
What was it? 9% of top 64 at Dortmund.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's
I know
good
he
again.
didn't know
but
he
it's-
didn't win, but that's taking it.
No, it's a shadow of its former self, and you got traumatized by Tyr. You literally played Draco for a year.
No, it just literally seemed like any person who played the deck against me was just not very pleasant. as a person.
That was because it was probably the only deck anyone was playing, and you probably just bumped into some not very pleasant people.
Yeah.
Josh plays tier right now.
He's not a pleasant person.
Josh is fantastic. You leave him alone.
He knocked me out.
Yeah. Notably, Little Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a theme. The only deck that can justify not playing it is Pirelli.
Little Nike in Nike.
Little Nike.
Oh, Little Knight in Adamancipator. I like these builds. They remind me of.
Oh, they have Block Dragon. Who'd have thumped it?
Yeah, they remind me of Lockdown. This deck was based. It was so cool, and it's kind of a shame that it never got to shine. It wasn't cool. It was an absolute piss take, and the only thing that kept it in check was Synchro Lich. But that's because of all the.
There were a few other decks. It was just those were the two main ones.
Well, yeah, because you had Into Noble doing all the same stuff, but this just did everything the same. But objectively
This could
better.
do smoke grenade things. It's just the best thing that this had going for it is that it didn't have to play smoke grenade.
Yeah, it didn't need to. It could when their main gimmick was playing smoke grenade. This though, just when I've set up a full board of ridiculous interrupts, and then you go, wow, I've exhausted my entire hand, my will to live, and my god, I got through that board. And they go, okay, effect of Block Dragon, that whole board comes back, and you're like, how do I break this deck? Because you're not doing lethal through their full board.
Unless you're playing UCT.
It was a simpler time. How are you getting to UCT?
Magic.
Yeah. Simple Spoils Rescue Ace, you may as well just call it Rescue Ace, because this is the only way you play it.
Double Little Knight. They're doubling down.
Yeah.
And they're playing Unicorn.
It's particular... Why?
Well, you want variety.
Discard?
Knight's still... well, Knight's a banish, Unicorn's a spin, and don't forget Knights also come back at the end phase, so if you want to permanently get rid of something, you'd make Unicorn.
Knight's first effect is permanent.
Well, it's second effect, then.
Yeah, its second effect is like the cherry on top. Maybe they need discards for some reason. That being said, OCG just like, I think you've said it before, they love a toolbox.
Yeah.
So if you can give them like, I will like a destruction removal, a bounce, a spin, a banish,
A send.
a send. I want one of everything, and that'll be my extra deck.
A pop, a do, a twisteroo.
And what would be fantastic is if I could also put up a towers, and have an OTK card, and then that's
With
it.
an
That's
Omni
me set.
Negate.
Oh yeah, one of an Omni Negate. Yeah.
Oh, and a targeting soft negate. And an interactive tribute.
Yeah. No.
And a yoink.
The way the game plays over there, though, it's like it makes a lot of sense to just have a toolbox. Whereas here we just like to go burr. So, Mathmech at Ignista. We were just talking about this, and I really don't get it. I mean, you can get a draw 3 out of it.
I wasn't talking about this specifically.
No, but like personally, obviously it did well, but I just don't understand the build. Maybe I'm being small-brained, but like the Ignistas, you're immediately committing into a Dark Infant, which just turns your Mathmech off. But then if you're front-facing with Mathmech, your Mathmech is probably your far more aggressive engine.
Honest, I think it's mainly to get your opponent's attention off of Tempest. So you start with this guy. So they're interacting with your Mathmech stuff first, and then if you hit Dark Tempest, their turn is over.
Oh my god, yes. They,
So yeah, it's smoke and mirrors.
No, yeah. What do you notice about that? There's a purple card missing. They do not give a shit about that Mathmech engine.
No. That's what I mean. They try and throw their opponent off the scent.
They're playing the Reborn.
Yeah.
They're not even playing the Diameter. Yeah, no, this is just like, I'm going to make Alan Bershin. And they go, oh, nope. And then you're like, right, now I can play Agnista.
Yeah.
Got it. I don't like that. I prefer Math Mech, but...
All right.
Yay, I can't say anything. They did well.
It's different world. They're playing
Maxi.
They still have this card.
Yeah, man. I used to love Magical Dragon. What did I play
Magical
in?
Dragon.
It was Chaos.
Yeah.
I was playing like old school Chaos with Magical Dragon.
So
and
adventure
OTK.
tier, it's tier. It's playing Sinful Spoils, it's playing tier, it's playing adventure. There is nothing interesting about this deck.
There is something interesting about Sinful Spoils, though, that I brought up to you when obviously we were talking about it. Search Jet Synchron.
Casually.
Just casually. It's a fire, not a pyro, by the way. I think I said pyro.
Which is the one that
earlier.
surges the fire? Because Bellstar doesn't do it.
It is the... So you go from the rotor into the Bellstar, discard it, summon Bellstar, and use this one.
Oh, so then you make
Which
Magical
can't
Dragon
remember
mill
its name.
5.
Well, I don't know if you have to tribute the Bellstar to do it. Right. Real quick.
Bellstar can also recur from grave.
Send one of the face-up card you control to the graveyard. Special summon one level 1 fire monster from your hand or deck. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Target one Snake Eye or Diabella Star monster in your graveyard. Add one level 1 fire monster from your deck to your hand. Then place that the targeted monster on the bottom of the deck. You can only use one.
It's Hydrant Rotor.
Well, it's Hydrant E-Telly and then rotoring on the next turn for another Hydrant. But level 1 fire. Honestly, oh, chef's kiss, I want it. Christmas is coming up.
So what? I mean, Scrooge, I told you this year.
Yeah, I know, I'm like, wait. Is this one of those things where, like...
They still get to have fun with Super Heavy Samurai, might I add.
Yeah, so, like, hang on, before you move on, I always harp on about when Bird Up got played in the OCG, and we had them, and I was sat there going, these can't be bad, they link someone from Grave, that is so free! And we were like, nah, Tri Brigade sucks ass, dude. Then they topped in the OCG, someone saw the end board and was like, that's cracked. That's absolutely nuts. Has that just happened here? Because these have had these for ages and we haven't seen a single list crop up.
No, they'd have figured it out.
I mean, you can't just assume that.
I can, because it's happened every year, time and time again.
Yeah, but, like, have they just been a bit slow to suss it?
It takes one Muppet to go on, like, Wikipedia and find a link to Dark Machine monster.
Right, I understand that happened with your
It happens. It's Unchained!
I'm telling you to get off the mouse. It's my car. I'm driving it.
Unchained!
Yeah, it's Unchained. But, like, either way, there was clearly a little bit of lag here. It's either because the deck didn't compete well, which I can't see, because I think it'd do alright against Max C. As much as any other deck would. Because you can do kind of condensed boards that are still good. Danger to Elements again. They still have Curious as well. There's so many broken things.
Yeah, and yet they don't abuse a single one of them.
Another one. Yeah, I'm not having it. It popped off here. And suddenly we're seeing a bunch of them appear. I think they had a reverse of what happened. We're going through the motions.
Or they got a ban list and they were like, oh, this deck's good again because guess what? Cash Tier is not a deck.
No. Unchained plays really well into Cash. It dominated Cash just before Cash got banned. That was the big news with it.
Well, they haven't. They've got more than just Cash.
You know what I mean. Come on, it makes sense.
That's Salomon Grey with Kaiser Colosseum.
That's what caught my eye.
No, you just sit on Blaze Phoenix with your Roar and your Rage, and they just activate Kaiser at the end of the turn and go, you can't summon any more than twice.
That's horrible.
Yeah, no.
That's Mystic Mine at home.
Yeah.
That's worse than Mystic Mine.
No, because Mystic Mines had no effects.
Yeah, but this says
I could still summon.
And this is Winder in a spell card with, like... Winder, you have to set up and do things. This, you just go, done.
Yeah. And if they try and do anything, you just rage it away.
Yeah,
Or roar it. Or, you know.
that's kind of bonkers. That's disgusting. Yeah, like Mystic Mine, you can mess about with it and kind of out it in ways. I don't see what you're doing against that.
Kaiser Colosseum has its ups and downs. Even if if your opponent passes turn, you're under Kaiser as well.
Yeah, that's fine, but you're in control with the big established boss.
Not necessarily, because if they remove it,
Well, yeah. So what you
so if they manage to
like,
remove your monster,
kaiju or bust?
not even that, they could do a couple of little things.
Well, like you can't even get into Phoenix.
So like either they have to out their own Kaiser, or your opponent keeps getting turns until he has an out. So it's risky, but Salamangreat have enough interaction for it to not really matter. Is what I'm saying.
Makanko, but wait, isn't that one of those cards from the anime?
The 5Ds, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what? I can't remember what it does, and this is all in OCG, so I can't even say. But they are playing Little Knight.
Everybody's playing Little Knight. We get it.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think most based list of the week award goes to.
I want to give it salad. Kaiser salad.
Do you know what? Kaiser salad is pretty sick. I really like.
Do not give it to a tier player.
It's not that. I like the rocks,
All right. I'll give it the rocks.
but you're right about salad. This is still just rocks.
Kaiser salad has a nice ring to it.
Kinda. Anyway, we had a bunch of tournaments. A lot of the results aren't in yet, but we had the tournaments. For the ones that are in, and this is going to get quite big, we had Monterrey?
Yep.
Is that pronounced right?
Yep.
Cool. Rescue Ace topping, and this is probably the last time we're going to see Rescue Ace in this iteration. Manadium and Pirelli, all the rest unknown. They wouldn't give us the information.
The runner-up was so salty he didn't bother giving his name or his list.
Yeah. This is probably the last time you are going to see Rescue Ace played like this. Because again, Rescue Ace, the Ninors ain't cheap, are they?
Nope.
So again, not as a slight to budget players, but if you're already this deep on the tank on Ninors, you're probably like, yeah, screw it, what's another like 180 quid? But yeah, this.
Or you could sell Ninors and just buy on chain.
Is Ninors about the same price?
Yeah.
Uh,
Hydrants are 25 each.
Big oof. Greenville had their WCQ regional. Pirelli took the top, and Unchained took top.
Again, we have a lot of salty players here.
Nothing surprising whatsoever. Although apparently we'll get onto it later, but I watched Joshua Schmidt's video on Pirelli, and apparently it is a goddamn nightmare for losing in time.
Yeah.
Because you just slap up a big towers and then you can't do anything proactive. People just keep playing into it. The process is really long, so you do win game one, but going into like game two, you're forced into a position.
I have an idea. It's called pick up the card and read what it does.
What?
I don't know, like preventing from time is like if you look at something, you're in a position where you're losing, you know you're losing. That always doesn't help either.
He addressed this though, so like, well, this is the other thing. People will just play into it to try and out it. But he's like amassed so much advantage, or like any Pirelli player, that you are not going to win. But the deck doesn't have the inevitability to just go, okay, you haven't outed the Noir, you're dead now. Because they'll probably still be able to.
Well, they just make happiness then and attack you 7 times repeatedly.
Well, yeah, but it didn't happen like that. So, like, I doubt that Schmidt just forgot happiness existed.
No. Like as I say,
so,
you need to be realistic.
From what he was saying, though, because, like, in a vacuum, it sounds incredible, and he was like, it really performed how I thought it'd be, but I did all my testing and didn't apply a timer to it, and, like, was very gracious about that. But from what he was saying, you kind of, you get into your game two, and you're stuck in a position where, ideally, because you're having the same issue, you would typically scoop it, go to game 3,
Yeah. So the unpopular
and then close it
the
down.
unpopular opinion I've always had, and like it, I don't see anything wrong with this. If you're looking at a situation, it doesn't look good. You're against a bunch of negates or a towers, and you think, do you know what? What he's got here isn't serious. He's got nothing on the crackback. He's got no triggers. But what he's got now, I can't out, or it's really annoying, and getting to that out is going to be so hard. And yes, you may win. You may possibly win, but it is going to take 25 minutes of your time to get it. So it's whether or not you trust yourself to go to game 3 or go to game 2.
Long story short, yeah, you need to start. Sometimes it's better to play a worse, simpler deck in long events, and you'll probably convert more because it won't melt your brain over the course of a day.
Yeah, if you're one of those who can, take it to heart that you've got to play for 45 minutes, even though it's just a suggestion.
The other thing is, like, Schmidt is not the same as, like, I am not cut from the same cloth as Schmidt. He can probably maintain full mental faculties for a lot longer in a longer event because he's been doing it since he was a kid and he's been a pro for a long time. So yeah, so this is the Pirelli list, and what can we say? It's Pirelli, apart from the Tekken Ultimate Slayers, which is kind of interesting.
I mean, Trouble Sunny's not a bad card.
Oh, right, yeah, this is what we were going to discuss, because I first looked at this and did exactly what I just did and was like, what? So, just, if you're playing against an Xyz or a Link deck, you can do it? But no, they have got the Fusion, and it's only Synchros they can't hit with that. They've got the Natis, the Trouble Sunny is pretty brilliant, and that's kind of it with it. Got cross out options and whatnot, which is probably just to cross out the Herald. Because really, what are Pirelli scared of once they've established?
You can also search it off a thrust.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they'll care about using it.
Good card.
It is, but they'll care about it being used on them. Los Angeles had their WCQ, and this was actually quite interesting. So Unchained took it, surprising no one. Hero in second, though, and you'll have some things to say about that. We've got a bunch of tier. It is very much back. Runic for hire. Honestly, it might be a base list, but I'm just boycotting Runic. I'm so sick of it. Chimera branded, we're getting to the point where it's just fusion soup. So the Ter Elements list is quite, there was something. There's a new innovation. They are playing Blue Dog in the main. They seem to be prioritizing 6/7s typically, although this player has been running the Nessie. I think this is probably for easy Baron access, and Blue Dog is pretty sick in this, I would imagine. Might see if Josh wants to lend one of mine, because I bet he'd have fun with that. Yeah,
Probably might say it's bad.
like 3 of the topping lists from this event had Blue Dog in them.
Yes, because he's cared.
Just be nice to Josh.
Never.
Also, if you haven't watched Josh's Ter Elements list, it's on the channel. Watch it. He managed to get Ter Elements down in just over 60 seconds, which, to be fair, there's a lot of different cards. Yeah, but that's kind of the spicy new thing with Tier. We will probably see a lot of innovation with them. Scattershot, get over it. Live with it.
I can't.
Just deal.
I can't.
Right, here is... You're going to talk now.
Right, so hero players have now taken it, that they need to drop the main hero searcher for an elemental hero Neos. Why is this? So that they can then search favorite contact using Infernal Devices effect. So obviously the reveal Scorcher. So they summon this guy in your opponent's turn now. It pops a couple cards, and it can't be destroyed by card effects. I don't think you have to worry about it being destroyed by battle, because it's usually accompanied with a skill drain, or they're under Imperial Order. So it's got 5/6 attack. Do I like this build? Personally, no. Is it bad? Well, it's not bad at all. It just plays like hero. It's obviously the card count, it's quite high, but as I say, that he's taking this into consideration. Like, there are a couple of cards you really don't want to see in your hand. You just want to search them or use them that way. The biggest problem hero has, and it always will have, is if your opponent knows how to play against it, you lose. That is its biggest problem. So that's hero, or this hero.
You really pulled it back at the end. I was, for some reason, I thought you were going to be like, "Is it bad?" Absolutely, because it's not how I'd play it. And then I was going to have to be like, "Moz."
No, I wouldn't personally play it like this. But I said the only problem it ever has is that if somebody knows that.
Quick side note: Rarity Collection. When that comes out, we all need to get round boys.
Yeah,
They're just smart to have.
that's if they decide every card in that set's not 500 quid.
And we had YCS Dortmund. Yeah, Rika came out of wherever Rika comes from and took it again.
It wins every major event, and yet it's never seen at any other event. It's almost as if people hate playing it recreationally, but when they want to win with Summit, they pull it out.
It does have a hell of a record at the minute.
It does. I think it's taken 5 right now.
Pretty solid. Vanquish Soul and then Despia, which is again Fusion Soup. And from that, we kind of drop into a slew of what you would expect, seeing the re-emergence of Flu. Manadium have snuck in there. Sprite kind of sneaking in there. Makanko, that... Why did we not pull that out? We have now. Mathmech was... We're going to get into this. It just melted my brain. And after further testing...
Virtual World.
Virtual World? Where is Virtual World?
Gone past it. Down.
Down?
Down. There you
Yo,
go.
we're going to... Okay, there's a lot that happened at Dortmund that's based.
Alright. That was top 64. Right, let's get into the list.
So, we
The
have
winner.
got... You have a really bad habit of leaving things at the bottom of the screen. We have the winners list. Therion, Sun, Avalon, Rika. It's Plant with a Therion splash. I don't think this is changing much.
No.
Your only major choice is whether to have an Omni Negate or not. Do you want a Negate or more gas? And yeah, it's proven time and time again that it's ridiculously strong. I think this will be the funny normal summon. If this card is special summoned and you control no cards in your field zone, you can add a field spell from your deck to your hand. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target one field spell in your graveyard and add one card with the same name from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Catacon once per turn. I'm getting better at reading fast because of this series. I have called this for ages that this is a solid tech. Aoi as well. Yeah, if you can put up water monsters, Aoi is always a shout. They're also playing Zombie World. I think that's just to like set up their own board and then go, Flu aren't playing. You can hurt yourself in Yu-Gi-Oh! As long as you're damn sure you're knocking the other person clean out of the game. But yeah, it is what it is. Do you have any comments?
It's Plant.
It's Plant. Bob Marley intensifies. Next, we have got second place, Vanquish Soul.
I did actually love this list. It's 12 compact hand traps with Prosperity and a solid engine.
Yeah.
No shifters, though, which was interesting, I thought.
I like Fenrir. I'm not too sure how much I like Rise Heart.
It's just you get an extra summon. You can make Dweller, so you don't even have to lock yourself into Xyz. You
I mean,
just search it off of that. Summon Mad Love, or...
Well, mostly it's shaping the elements in your hand.
Well, there's that, but it's also searchable, and then you can just pair it with Mad Love or Borga or something, and then you just overlay into Dweller or Paguska, or, you know, it's really cool and good.
Yeah, it is pretty sick. I like the fact that Infernoble just wrote us for the main.
Not gonna lie, this is actually a very good template to use for building a deck.
Yeah.
Because of the hand trap spread, your consistency spread, and its engine.
Well, yeah, depending if it's a conventional deck.
I think it's genuinely a very good template.
Yeah, I really like it.
Especially for an aggro. sort of deck, you can use this as a template. It's engine, hand traps, toolbox.
You say aggro, like...
It's in the aggro, sort of.
Yeah, but, like, you compare this to, like, my very tuned out of its nut gren list, and they are nothing alike.
That's Unga. There's a new category.
It's not.
It's Bunga.
That will never stop hurting.
And the only problem you... What was it? So...
When your only problem... Wait. When your problem's a nail, all you're going to see is a hammer.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Look, this is coming from...
when all you have is a hammer, all your problems are going to look like a nail.
That's it. This is coming from a Dino player, so I will say shut your whore mouth, you just play the deck badly.
I wasn't a Dino player.
You are a Dino player.
No, that quote was from Farfa.
Yeah, that quote was from Farfa. I'm saying coming from you. Yeah, no, you just play Gren badly, in my opinion.
Oh, shut up.
No, I will never...
These flew, no hand traps, except shifter.
God, yeah, so... I prefer hand traps. I'm not saying this person's wrong, by the way, by any stretch. I hate extravagance so much. It's just ash bait. It's just ash bait. You can't kind of like play around with when you activate it. I just think the 3 prosp, 3 dualities,
and an extrav.
Yeah, I like the small bird for a bit of insulation, the little smog. But they are playing some weird text. They are literally, it looks like playing an ulti slayer side. It looks like they entered the event, decided not to play ulti slayer, and then went, extra deck don't matter anyway. I'm not changing it.
Yeah.
That is literally an ulti slayer side. Kind of. Or a no, cherries.
It's a cherry side.
It's a cherry side. And I can't see cherries.
Yeah.
So it looks like they've literally opted against cherries and gone like, I don't care about the extra deck. So, fair enough. This is so based! I didn't like it when I first saw it, because I immediately saw the Guardian, and I just prefer Phantom.
I had to talk you around.
You did have to talk me round, because immediately I was like, nice! And you were like, no, this is keyed in. It's dialed in really well, and look at the hand trap density. We are looking at 3, 6, 9, 12... 15 with a main deck kaiju that's small worldable.
And I love it as well. It looks like a gun. There's its base and there's the barrel.
It looks more like a ping pong racket, but okay.
Or if we rotate it.
God damn it, Moz. Right. No, I have completely rebuilt my firewall variant now. Based on seeing this. It's still got the me spice. It's still like, if you're small worlding into a kaiju, you can small world into a Kurikara. And yeah. Really tight extra deck as well. Almirage. Initially as well, I was like, why?
And I had to explain it again. You turn any hand trap into a starter by making a Cyburst. So if you open Exceed or a Math Mech extender, all you have to do is normal hand trap, link it off. You've got Almirage, you can proc Exceed, or you can just use your extender, link it to the Splash Mage, Reborn, link into Decoder if you want to, and then link again into Heat Soul. Decoder comes back, draw a card. If you can get one more monster on the field, you've got Terahertz without even trying.
So, yeah, it's fantastic. Here
Now we
is
got
the
Mekanko.
It's doing Mekanko things.
Oh god.
God!
Oh god!
It's
Oh
so much
god!
better. Spellbound. This is picking up traction and doing really well, and I love it. I love this.
Hate it.
I
love the effect. I just don't like when it can be used.
Yeah, what do you mean? Because it's on a quick play?
Yeah, I don't like when it can be used.
I really want to play Spellbound. I might at locals because it's locals. And
also, it's missing one.
hoses.
It's missing one, right? It's missing one. And don't get me wrong, I will probably end up playing this over D-Barrier, but it is missing one crucial type for this to be cracked. Ritual.
Yeah, but like the really fun part, think about it, like activate branded in red or Chimera Fusion or any fusion quick play. Chain spellbound. Aww. Normal summon Rabina. Chain spellbound. Do any Unchained plays. Spellbound.
I like it.
I have the...
It's your favourite artwork.
Yeah, it is my favourite artwork of modern Yu-Gi-Oh!
Suck up the
Diabell's
BLS.
kind of up there.
Oh, the mummy.
It's the wanted poster as well. It really reminds me of, like, I don't know, Borderlands or something. Virtual World managed to convert. This is kind of impressive.
That is...
Take us through it and make it fast.
Right, so this is bare bones virtual world. There is absolutely nothing new going on here. They all activate from hand. They all have plays engraved. But the one problem this always has, it can play this. Its one job is to summon giant unfair monsters. And then it can top it off with whatever the bloody hell it wants. And it can also play Lars apparently now because
Yeah.
Lulu and Lau Lau.
And what's next to Lars? Something that's coming back in format? That was
Oh, it's
like...
the DD Crow in there, or the return. Yeah, return its deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this deck has a lot of versatility.
Marionette Might as well.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
People hate Unchained.
Yeah, for what it's worth, with Marionette Might, if you've got the read on the entire room being on Unchained, it's kind of worth it, but otherwise, I'd say a change of heart. And I mean, it's in there, but mind control. Anyway.
That's it. That's the news.
Is the news, and my God, has it been a long news, but I've had fun, he put sugar in me, and now I can't shut up. So,
That's the problem.
that's probably the problem.
Coma.
Either way, yeah, watch all the other videos, watch us stream, watch us do things. Just, please, watch us. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, hit the bell icon, do all that good stuff. Thank you to Con and Tom for constantly editing this series, and we will see you next time, people.
I want to go home now.
It's not your sign-off.
Yeah, it's close enough.
That's not your sign-off.
I'm kind of tired. I think I'll go home now.
Let's change the subject, people. We're leaving.